Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents Predict the Outcome for WWE WrestleMania Backlash. And WrestleMania Backlash it is. You see these six men, Drew McIntyre leading his team of Rated RK Bro, Riddle, and Randy Orton to take on the team of the Bloodline, led by Roman Reigns and the Usos. Well, tonight on SmackDown, they had a face-to-face before their confrontation before the six-man confrontation this Sunday at Backlash. We'll get to that. Also, too, on Backlash, we talk about a lot of the matches, including this match that Happy Corbin taking on Madcap Mouse, who's teacher versus student. Who's going to win in that match as well? And two, Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey clash for the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania Backlash. That's going to be a match in the I Quit match. 2 words, 5 letters. Which woman will say I quit in front of the whole world to know that she was the one that lost to the better woman? We'll talk about that, as well as Cody Rhodes getting his WrestleMania rematch again against Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins proving that Cody was a fluke at WrestleMania. He wasn't prepared. Well, he's going to say he's going to be prepared this time. Only time will tell on that. Cody and Seth Rollins meet one-on-one at WrestleMania Backlash, and a couple more huge cards as well in Edge and AJ Styles. We start the pro wrestling show, WrestleMania Backlash, and it starts right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kendra Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show for the Predict the Outcome, and thank you all for watching for WrestleMania Backlash. But first thing first, join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect, and don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe and care. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. As you see the whispers, as Cody Rhodes likes to whisper and stuff. Also, too, before mention that Cody Rhodes' Broken Skull episode with Stone Cold Steve Austin is available on Peacock on the WWE Network, wherever you stream the WWE Network. Well, we get to Master Cody. Cody talks about everything about frustrations within WWE, leaving WWE, returning to WWE, forming AEW. Cody gets into the well-round things of him in WWE and coming back and making his big comeback at WrestleMania. Many of you may have remembered Cody Rhodes came back out of nowhere at WrestleMania and went one-on-one against Seth Rollins in a match. Now Cody will have that WrestleMania rematch one more time against Seth Rollins. Many people are considering that match to be the match of the night at WrestleMania. Seth Rollins and Cody has been embroiled into a rivalry that many people never expect. We know both men respect each other. Cody mission statement is that he wants to be WWE undisputed Universal Champion. He feels that Seth Rollins is blocking his way. Seth Rollins want to prove that he's the best in the world. He went for the Universal Championship, and many of you remember at Royal Rumble against Roman Reigns, but unsuccessfully lost that match. So now it's come to a head. Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes. Who is going to emerge victorious? Seth Rollins has the edge. Cody returning back has that edge of getting that one fall pinfall at WrestleMania, returning, and now these two men will be embroiled into a fight. Look for pure wrestling skills, pure wrestling unique styles. Look for Seth Rollins to win over Cody, and Seth Rollins with the blemish over Cody Rhodes on what had happened at WrestleMania. So Seth Rollins should win his match over Cody and get that blemish, and then they will continue their feud going to Hell in a Cell. And who knows if Cody wants to challenge Seth Rollins to a Hell in a Cell match. No, Cody Rhodes, he's just like his daddy. He wants He wants blood and he wants guts. And maybe this might be the perfect way for Cody and Seth Rollins to have their feud at WrestleMania Backlash and Hell in a Cell. So we might see that going forward and stuff. All right. Another match that I'm looking forward to is Happy Corbin taking on Madcap Moss. Now we know Happy Corbin had a match against Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. He lost the match, and he blamed Madcap Moss for his loss losing that match. Where Madcap Moss stood up for himself and said he had enough of Happy Corbin, and Madcap Moss finally gets his match that he wants. And I feel like Madcap Moss is going to be a breakout star in future's telling. You can tell Madcap Moss doesn't play by the rules, and he's got Happy Corbin's number. He even did tonight on SmackDown, telling Happy Corbin that, hey, you're not gonna hold me back and pull me down. And that's why I feel like Happy Corbin is gonna be pulled back. Madcap Moss is on a roll, and look for Madcap Moss to win his match over Happy Corbin and get the Duke for Madcap Moss. So Madcap Moss will go on to win over Happy Corbin. And Happy Corbin will be sit like this, home packing. That's what's gonna happen to Happy Corbin. Also, too, um, Edge. We want to say this. Um, where is Edge? We're gonna find it. Edge versus AJ Styles at Backlash. This is another WrestleMania rematch that many people want to see. We know Edge got the upper hand at WrestleMania. We knew that Edge won an opponent. Edge got an opponent with AJ Styles. We thought it was gonna be a friendly babyface, but it didn't turn out that way. Edge showed a darker, sinister side to himself, and the sinister side Edge showed himself aligned with Damian Priest. Damian Priest and Edge are aligned with each other, and they were just talking about the Brood and talking about how Edge saying that Damian got held back by Bad Bunny, that he should have been the star of WrestleMania, and now it comes to a head at WrestleMania Backlash. Now, like I said, I don't know what's going to happen. And then too, you also had to put this fact in: Finn Balor helping AJ Styles this past week on Raw. Could Finn Balor be a pivotal role in the match as well, helping AJ and stuff? But like I said, it's going to continue to play mind games. So look for Edge with his new demented side, along with Damian Priest, helping him in more ways than one, win over AJ Styles. I don't know if Finn Balor is going to play a role. We'll see going forward with that. Also, too, at Backlash, we look at this. Bobby Lashley, he'll be in action. Bobby Lashley will take on Almas. That's another WrestleMania rematch, but this time MVP's in Almas's corner. Bobby Lashley got the upper hand a week before WrestleMania. The challenge, where Almas made a challenge to him at WrestleMania. And now these two behemoths go at each other one on one with MVP in his corner. MVP took the nail on the head and struck down Bobby Lashley, thus ending in saying that he was the reason why the Hurt Business was working. He was the reason why all this was going on. Bobby Lashley wouldn't get opportunities being managed by Leo Rush and Lana. They didn't take him nowhere. But Bobby Lashley gets his opportunity this Sunday at WrestleMania. You can see right here highlights of when Bobby Lashley won the arm wrestling challenge, and he got hurt for his trouble in that arm wrestling challenge. Almas is a monster that Almas want to do. But Bobby Lashley is ready at all costs. The former WWE champion has his hands full this Sunday at WrestleMania Backlash. Like I said, the stacks are too high for Bobby Lashley at the moment. I look at it like this: Bobby Lashley will do his power moves, but at the end, the mighty Almost with MVP in his corner, and MVP as a manager playing all the tricks in the trade will find a way to win over Bobby Lashley. So look for Almost to win and beat Bobby Lashley to a pelt. So look for that. All right. Also, too, the SmackDown Women's Championship is online. Ronda Rousey, who's looking poised to become the next SmackDown Women's Champion. Ronda Rousey, even then armbar to Drew Gulak at the time. Even Charlotte Flair sent the message as well. She destroyed Drew Gulak as well, attacked him. Drew Gulak came back tonight and wrestled his first match, but he lost against Gunter in an ugly showing. But tonight, Charlotte went against Aaliyah in an impromptu match. Charlotte won her match. She felt embarrassed by Aaliyah when Aaliyah done to her. And Ronda Rousey came out there and her and Charlotte brawl for the moment. So a lot of people are anxiously anticipating the match at WrestleMania Backlash between these two women battling out for the SmackDown Women's Championship, but this time in the I Quit match. The I Quit rules are this: the first woman who say I quit loses the match and sell her soul to her opponent in a way. She gives up. She says, I can't take it no more. I give up. It was one of the first matches, and it was the first championship match, the only championship match on the card. So we know Charlotte Flair has a hands full. Charlotte Flair used that devastating figure four leg lock, figure eight leg lock. Or Ronda Rousey used the arm bar or the ankle lock to her arsenal. Only time will tell. Which one of these two ladies will say I quit? And who will be embarrassed of saying I quit in front of the whole world that she had quit in front of people that she didn't think? Will it be Ronda Rousey? Will Ronda Rousey be able to say I quit or make Charlotte Flair tap out to say I quit? That's the question. Charlotte Flair, will she be the one? Let's find a picture of Charlotte. Will Charlotte Flair be the one to say I quit? These two women have a lot to prove. These two prideful women, knowing that a lot of stakes are on the line at WrestleMania Backlash. But who's going to emerge victorious? Charlotte, we thought Charlotte was going to lose her title at WrestleMania. She kept it by any means necessary. Now, my prediction is who's going to lead WrestleMania Backlash as the SmackDown Women's Champion. No question, Ronda Rousey will do it. Ronda Rousey will win the SmackDown Women's Championship over Charlotte Flair, and her and Charlotte will have a rematch, and they will go from there forward. So look for Ronda Rousey to emerge victorious over Charlotte Flair and making Charlotte Flair say those two other words that many people don't want to say: I quit. All right. And finally, the main event right here. This huge six-man tag team match right here. Roman Reigns and the Bloodline team up against Drew McIntyre and Rated RK Bro. Yes, it's going to be a huge six-man tag team match that many people will see. That Drew, Roman, they're gonna have their feud coming up soon rather than later. Well, there was originally supposed to be a unification championship match for the tag team titles between the Usos and Rated RK Bro, but it got changed real quick in a hurry. So this match now is a six-man tag. We know that Drew and Rated RK Bro had to put stuff in the past with Randy Orton and McIntyre, so they're on the same page. And there's a lot going on with that. But the Bloodline looking stronger with Roman Reigns winning the undisputed WWE World Heavyweight Championship for at WrestleMania with the Usos, who was trying to get the Usos to get them tag team gold and beginning with the first unification match, but we're hearing reports that WWE never intended to have them unify the tag team titles. It was just a ruse. But that ruse is now finna be in reality now in a huge 6-man tag team match between Roman Reigns, the undisputed Universal Champion, the Usos, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Now we know Roman wanted the Usos to unify the tag team titles, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. Well, we know earlier tonight in that face to face, it just got a little bit wild and crazy, setting up for that match going up at WrestleMania Backlash between these two teams. We know Roman and Drew will fight sooner rather than later at WrestleMania Backlash for the World Championship sooner rather than later. We're just actually anticipating whenever that happens. We're gonna keep a close eye on that. But like I said, this is an important match. We know that they want to save that match for the stadium, one of those stadium shows, and however that stadium show be and stuff going forward. So like I said, a lot going on in that match. Roman Reigns um getting stronger by time, and he has his moment that he wants to be the champion. And you see right here, Radar RK Bro and Roman Reigns had that face to face, and both men squared off, and they both men annihilated each other in the process. So my prediction is look for Drew McIntyre and Radar RK Bro to win, and I mean win, over Roman Reigns and the Usos. One of the Usos will take that pinfall loss, but look for Drew, Randy, and Matt Riddle to win over the Bloodline, setting up Roman to have his first championship defense against Drew, and they'll be in a later date. We just don't know when. It'll probably be one of those stadium shows, probably Money in the Bank. But this match just happened too early, too quick. But you know how they go. But like I said, it'll be that way. So we got through everything here on the Pro Wrestling Show. This is the card itself, including some of the matches. We said that match, the Roman Reigns match, changed, but got a lot of those matches. Well, we want to thank you for watching the Pro Wrestling Show presents the predicted outcome for WrestleMania Backlash. We'll see you this weekend for WrestleMania Backlash. We'll see you next week for another edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. See you later, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.